The many iconic transformations that the Saiyans go through are some of the most identifiable aspects of the Dragon Ball franchise. Through sheer rage, the Saiyans of the series are seen to grow exponentially in strength once they unlock a new transformation, often changing the style or colour of their hair in the process. The Super Saiyan forms are usually more or less the same, though there remain some standouts. One such standout is the legendary Super Saiyan transformation. First seen as Broly's ultimate form in Dragon Ball Z Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan movie, it was met with love from every fan of the series, but just like other Dragon Ball Z movies, this one was not canon. The form made a return in the Tournament of Power, when Kale used it, and then again when Broly was introduced to the canon franchise. Though both of them sport similar forms, let's take a look at how they differ. Broly made his official debut in the canon series in the acclaimed Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, where he showed the form that fans have fallen in love with back in 1993. However, this version of Broly was a far more tragic character, one who was subjected to a harsh upbringing that made him this way, instead of being born a psychopathic villain, like in the original film. Broly did seem to undergo a few forms when he fought against the heroes, including an exceptionally powerful Super Saiyan transformation. However, his full power was seen with his legendary Super Saiyan form in the battle against Gogeta, where he broke out his iconic green-haired transformation that bulked up his muscles even further and made him strong enough to break through a dimensional seal. This form lived up to the hype that fans were expecting from it, as Broly's power was something that Goku and Vegeta simply couldn't contend with. Broly was so strong that Gogeta knew that he had to go Super Saiyan Blue in order to defeat him as quickly as possible. Toward the end of the film, Broly is officially redeemed to join the heroes as a warrior of Universe 7, and the continued manga has him training with Goku and Vegeta to control and harness his unmatched potential. Kale was a shy girl who was part of Universe 6's roster in the Tournament of Power. Though she initially seemed like a burden, she held a terrifying amount of power within herself, which she showed in the form of her Berserker Super Saiyan form. This transformation was a callback to the legendary Super Saiyan, and was the first transformation of its kind in Dragon Ball Super. This form was very powerful, as it seemed to keep up with Goku's Super Saiyan transformations fairly well. Moreover, unlike Broly, Kale retains her ability to speak while in this frenzied state. This showed that this form was easier to control, as she eventually mustered its strength in the very same arc where it made its debut. Still though, this form was a powerhouse in the tournament, and performed very well against Goku. The most obvious difference between the secret forms of Kale and Broly is the power gap. While they are similar in theory and function, they cannot be further apart when it comes to strength, as Kale was being held at bay by Goku's Super Saiyan forms, and Broly required Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta to stop. The disparity of strength is just far too great. The exact reason for this is unclear, though there are a few things that allow speculation. The biggest of these is latent potential and power level. It was explained very early on in Dragon Ball Z that Saiyan classes exist based on the power levels that the members of the race are born with. The reason behind Broly's exile from planet Vegeta was the unmatched power level he had as a baby, which King Vegeta took as offensive due to his own son's power being far inferior, claiming that Broly posed a threat to their safety. This could have cut and dried the fact that Broly was just a freak of nature. However, another reason why he is so much stronger than Kale could be because of their upbringing. While nothing is known about Kale's backstory, she, at the very least, had people around her, and she grew up on a safe planet Sadala, whereas Broly was exiled to a harsh world as a child, where he had to fight to survive daily. Furthermore, the only person he ever knew was his father Paragus, who was a rough and austere man who never showed any warmth to his son. These living conditions, coupled with the innumerable Zenkai boosts Broly probably received growing up on the Death World, as well as his already insane power level as a child, meant that Broly was destined to become one of the strongest beings in the multiverse.